Hey guys, Taro here, and today we are looking at a 2v2. We're on Stadschutt. Spawning in the north. We've got a double US Forces team, Captain Speirs. And then in his loadout is airborne, heavy cavalry, and infantry. Teaming up with him is Artavick, who has heavy cavalry, infantry, and rifle company. Rifle company and infantry. Switching them up. Double US Forces, very mythical beast. This almost never see it. These guys are a ranged team, both of them obviously ranged team, like 25 allies, but don't have that many games together. With their win rate, they could perhaps see higher ranks. Anyway, in the south we've got Scotch and Noggano, Gold Part 2. Mixed axis, Scotch locking in Blitzkrieg early. Noggano has fortifications, special operations, and Luftwaffe ground forces. This replay is actually from a few weeks ago, but obviously I've been quite busy with the coverage of the upcoming Commander patch, so got put on the back burner, but here we are finally. I think this one's actually pre-2v2 tournament announcement as well. For the 2v2 tournament, Artavick's actually teaming up with Brosras, so a slightly different team, but interested to see how they get on here. Regardless, against this team who's definitely playing in the tournament, probably one of the top 3 seeds if I had to guess, based on previous performances. It looks like they're practicing hard too. A bit of a flank here, but I don't know if re-echelons can clear it out. They're getting very lucky not dropping any models. Finally dropped one there. He's determined to keep the MG in there. Eventually it pays dividends, but I mean, now it's at 2 models, quite vulnerable.
Territory is out of contact.
As for this map, Stadschutt, I don't think the official map pool's been announced, but I doubt that this will be included in it. It just doesn't seem to be very well liked by players. Got a pretty deep cutoff maneuver here from Captain Speirs. Playing double US Forces like this, you need to a strong early game, because US Forces can struggle in the late game, especially because they don't have any rocket artillery. We have real trouble in these 2v2 matches where rocket artillery is often the deciding factor. Do have access to the priest, but it's not quite the same. Well, he's maintained control of that cutoff, and in fact he's even going to go and connect that fuel over there in the far corner. These fuels are in the very far corners. Uh-oh, late retreat. Stern ponies there, ripping them in. To reload there though, but it's going to allow the escape. The Axis hanging tough on this right hand side. Nice work from Noggano, switching targets to the re-echelons basically as soon as they came in range. Very quick micro on that. It's exactly how you want to control that kind of engagement. Focus fire the squad that's approaching you. But now with 3 riflemen here is lone opportunity getting overwhelmed. Interesting, only a 3 rifle build from both players so far. Quite often you see 4 rifle builds as US Forces, at least on 1v1s. But we do have an early ambulance for Captain Speirs. That is one of the advantages of US Forces. Ambulance, the best healing in the game, can heal both armies very easily with just 1 ambulance. Because of course have the drawback of potentially getting killed quite easily. But you get that. I'll overlook that for now.
Has been assigned to field ops.
3 rifles into Lieutenant for Artavick, into Captain for Artavick, Lieutenant for Captain Speirs. Getting these 2 mixed up because his name's Captain, and he's going for the Lieutenant. It's just to throw me off. Clearly it's not even part of their strategy. Fox Grenadiers, thanks to throwing those grenades, forcing these units to reposition, even if the grenades didn't do much damage. By swinging the engagement there. These heavy cover positions for Captain Speirs. Oh, but no dodge on the rifle grenade. Oh, gets the wipe on the Grenadier though. Nice. Late retreat from Scotch. Cost him a squad there. Seems like the Axis though have had slightly superior fuel control so far, if I had to guess. Going for a pack howitzer is Artavick. I think this is like a pretty good pack howitzer map. You can kind of just like camp it around this region, quite close to your base. Cover the central VP. In a very relevant position. 50 cal from Captain Speirs. Be interesting to see if these US Forces players go for light vehicles or not. We have a Flamer half-track coming in for Scotch. And pops the flamethrower upgrade. There you go, the rear echelons. Captain also retreating straight away. Good awareness. Got a 50 cal facing up in this direction. Suppression on the stern pioneer, stopping the chase. Machine gun still in the middle. Can't suppose they didn't send the pack howitzers straight over there. 50 cal is decent against the flame half track if you activate the armor piercing rounds before it starts to target you. If you do it afterwards, it's too late. The flamethrowers will burn you out too quickly. But before that happens, you can get some good damage on it thanks to those AP rounds. It didn't happen quite in this case. A half track nearly complete though. It's going to be a Stadschutt for Artavick as well. Half track moving from side to side. Hasn't got too much damage in. Oh my god, look at all these low health squads. He's going to bleed a tremendous amount of manpower from them. Desperately trying to get in range for the AT grenade, but it's not going to come through. Stuart's on the field now. Oof, that was a good hit. Heading over to face Noggano's troops. Track switching sides now. Lieutenant over here, no AT grenade. It's going to force the retreats. And Axis actually looking quite strong here. There's a Rakit nearby. Can he hit the Stadschutt? Stop the chase. Save this Volksgrenadier. Connects with one shot. Quickly moves it outside of the arc. Doesn't get another shot in. Repositions it now. Is going to get a second shot in. Puts on a whole fighter back away. Stern Pioneers charge in. They end up winning the engagement.
Send your orders.
So nice Rakit positioning there for Noggano. Saves the day. Otherwise that Falk would have gone down to the Stadschutt on retreat. And good support play as well. Stern Pioneers coming in just in the nick of time to save the Rakit. And Rakit now 2 models less than half health. Very vulnerable to going down. I probably would have preferred to see him retreat it here and try to reinforce it. Because, yeah, when AT guns go down to 1 model, the second model just runs off the map and they just leave the weapon behind. So, very, very vulnerable in this state. And because they just forced away a light vehicle, know that there's probably not going to be another light vehicle on this side until it's finished repairs. So, ooh! Nasty one. Does give you a little bit of time to retreat it, reinforce it, bring it back onto the field without getting devastated by a vehicle in the meantime. A half-track forces away Flamer half-track. No pack yet from Scotch. Seems to be a little bit strapped for manpower. Going for a second machine gun. Didn't notice that. Back out. So has been doing some work. Nearly V1. Oof. Some juicy hits in with it. Backhouse is very strong at the moment. Definitely worth getting. A lot of people are like, man, like, this force has already got a mortar. Like, what is even the point of the Packhouse? But Packhouse is very strong. Trying to wire off that cover. Takes a crazy amount of damage from the looks in the meantime. Looks like he's going to be able to escape though. Running behind that building. Stuart is there though, so that is limiting the movements of the Panzer II. Kind of wants to go in for a bazooka shot, but can't because the machine gun's there. Will get suppressed. Capt is lining up though. Could go for a barrage here. Did end up retreating that Riketten, but as I said, I mean, it could have been back on the battlefield at full health by now. Contesting the Stuart. The Capts are not even using the barrage here, just using the auto fire. Quick micro there, just avoids the Faust on the Stuart, but the Stuart is not very good at the moment, honestly. I think it's a little bit underpowered. I feel like maybe it needs a little bit more damage on its machine gun to do a little bit more against infantry. So at the moment its performance against things like the Puma don't seem to be very good in terms of like anti-tank, and then in terms of anti-infantry it also seems to be quite similar. It's basically like the same or worse at everything than the Puma. Just not ideal. Uh-oh. Stuart takes a Riketten shot. Oh my god, spinning around. But this has been forgotten about by Noggano. And another rifle squad moving into the retreat path. That's going to go down. Looks like he's too busy trying to micro the looks, which... It's decrewed. Abandoned. Having trouble getting the killing blow. Oh, this could be devastating for Noggano. Stern Pioneers on retreat. No, the machine gun suppression kicks in. Saves the day. But it looks like he did forget about that squad up in the north. Too much to micro once, even for a top player like Noggano. So taking out that looks is very helpful. I'm actually kind of surprised he went for the looks. But he would have gone straight for the Puma. There you go. Yeah, after it gets out of there. Got a mortar for Captain Speirs. I guess they decided they need a little bit more against 3 machine guns currently fielded by the Axis. Just need a little bit more indirect fire because Capt is quite far over on the right at the moment. Can't really support the middle and the right at the same time. VP's actually the Allies behind currently. Bring up some tank traps here so we can make use of cover to hold this VP. Lining up a shot, gets it. Stuart has to pull back. Stuart up to 8 kills, V2, not too bad. Amazing though. Actually done a nice position to try to shut down this assault. A lot of bars though for Captain Speirs and also for Artavick, so they're kind of getting a little bit of a power spike here with their riflemen. Vet 2 and bars, that's when riflemen are probably at their strongest, all things like considered, especially with Grenadiers only Vet 1, so definitely hitting their stride, but that can drop off in the late game as everything becomes a bit more long range, harder to set up those close range engagements with the bars. So a command section from any other player but Scotch. Hey, half-track really hasn't been able to find its angle, it's just constantly running into a pack, being forced back for repairs, unfortunate. Walking Stuka lining up a barrage, she's quite close to this wall, okay. Yep. I promise you I had not seen this replay before, but looks like it was probably going to aim at this, but thanks to that wall, one of the shells actually go off. Doesn't do any damage. This mortar's very far forwards. Ooh. So you get some major artillery in there as well. Get out of there, but could quite easily have landed there. A slightly late reaction. Half-track coming in for the wipe. Doesn't want to chase in any further, risk getting a T-grenaded though. Yeah, half-track kind of switching over to the other side a little bit. And a lot of battling for the VPs right now. So things have started to settle into a more steady rhythm, axis control on this half, allies on this half. In fact, I haven't really played or seen a high level play on this map enough to know like how the fuel splits actually end up, but I feel like this tends to be what we see. Those LNGs starting to kick in, Greeny's starting to hit Vet 2 as well. Yeah, bonus accuracy. Trying to start to get nasty. Stewart remaining relevant. Pretty impressive he's managed to keep that alive so far. Right onto the 50 cal. Doesn't quite clear it out and he's suppressed, so unlikely to kill it. And here we go. First medium tank of the game. Sherman for Captain Speirs. Guys also did get a fuel cache down to try and speed up their progress towards this medium armor. Same for the Axis. Sherman on the battlefield, trying to do some damage. Raketin finds it early though. And the Axis have done a really good job of containing the light vehicles and now the medium tanks with just 2 anti-tank guns. The anti-tank gun positioning so far has been very strong. Very impressed with that. I feel like he was trying to bait him in there with the 50 cal for the A half-track to come and go for the finish. Ooh, that was a close call. Escapes, but only just. It's basically the first barrage, so I wouldn't say it's like bad for the first actual barrage. It's kind of worse than the first barrage, right? Because the opponents heard walking Stuka, so there's no like shock of the first walking Stuka barrage. Because that first barrage hit the wall. Nerf walls. That's all I can say. Trying to focus down the machine gun frontally before it can get the suppression off. Doesn't happen, and swarms of troops coming in on the follow-up. We have a Brumbier for Scotch, very quick Brumbier as well. I feel like this game is still very, very close, obviously with the VPs, but just in terms of army compositions and size. Noggano's army size is a little bit low at the moment, but it's not far away from the Command Panther, so it's about to spike up. So the Allies are going to have to be very careful with Command Panther on the field. They've got one Jackson so far. Stuart's still here, still kind of relevant with the shell shot, can do the blind critical, but got to be careful with it. Panther running straight at it. Who's that? Jackson. Panther coming through. Oh, is he going? Oh, I think he's going for point blank engine shot. Or did he activate shell shock and it just wore off? I'm not sure. Either way, Panther diving in takes engine damage. Jackson AT gun, everything there, and Noggano gets massively punished. All to chase after a lowly Stuart. But this could be a nasty walking Stuka barrage. Ooh. One squad went down, right? Was that the captain? Almost lost the pack out, so but not quite. Yeah, doing the damage. But yeah, that was just so greedy from Noggano, just charging in there with the Command Panther. I don't think he'd seen the Jackson yet, so I guess that was his reasoning, but no real excuse. Back up to full. Could of course switch this Stuart crew into the Jackson if he wanted to. Try to give that some veterancy, try to get it towards those arm-piercing rounds early. So we can penetrate, you know, the Panthers and the Brumbier a little bit more reliably. Because I think at the moment though, the Brumbier has 260 armor and penetration on the Jackson, I don't know, I think it's around 200. You definitely bounce the armor piercing rounds are helpful, especially once the Brumbier gets Vet 2, gets those skirts, gets the armor bonus. Really need the armor piercing rounds then. Second fuel cache. Down, that's interesting. Artavick has gone for infantry company, found himself a priest. That's going to work. Targeting the truck, wow. Uh-oh. Oh, Stuart finally meets its end. Kitten finishes the job, unfortunate. Nice work from Noggano. He's got that up to Vet 3 as well there, a kitten. That's vetted up really nicely. Shows you how much damage it must have done. Recon flares coming in for Noggano. Stuka barrage on the follow-up. Probably taking this machine gun. No. Got the mortar, perhaps anticipating the machine gun retreating into it. So got the Stuka close air support coming in now. It's going to be very deep in enemy territory. Jackson's got to be careful. He's targeting it. Avoids most of the damage there. Basically all the damage avoided there. Good reaction times. Artavick.
Ability ready for deployment.
Trying to stay relevant on the flanks. I didn't actually notice Captain Speirs lost his A half-track and he's rebuilding it now to deal with these planes. It'll be a real headache otherwise. You have to actually run off the field for the entire duration. Especially when your opponent does it this deep into your territory with the artillery flares allowing them to make that play. Oh, late retreat from Scotch. Good spell the end. Biz coming over. Sherman, oh, he's having second thoughts. Shouldn't have doubted himself. Should have just dove in there. Perhaps he saw the second pack. I'm not sure of it. He could have weaved his way out of there eventually, or maybe not. Actually, Panther head in the field. Flamer half-track just chasing him down here like crazy on retreat, speeding down the road with Vet 3. Light AT mine there. So, Artavick will be able to plant somewhere. In fact, both of them will be with the rifleman field defences. Care of the fuel cache. Allies in big trouble here. Being forced off. It's really the momentum the Axis got from their too close air support, even though they didn't do any damage, kind of just forced all their vehicles back. They lost a lot of territory. They're having a lot of trouble regathering right now. Oh my god, the double machine guns just shredding that MG. MG Grenadiers going off here. Have to try and position itself behind the shot blocker so Jackson can't connect, and it did work, so they had to back away. So skirmish is still going on the sides, trying to divert each other's attention away from the centre. Hope to get some wipes from inattention. Captain Speirs going south to Pershing now. Ooh, almost wipes the A half-track. Is that a... What was that dropping the shell there? Not sure. What's that priest targeting? Oh, it looks like it got something. It's a lucky shot. Oh my god, and clears out a mine as well. So there you go. MG42 and mine down. Priest finally gets on the scoreboard. Uh-oh, late reaction from Noggano. This could be a wipe. Sherman just needs one good hit here. Doesn't get it. And decides not to chase any further. Perhaps worried about a mine here. Double Rakidens. Oh man, Jackson had to get out of there really quickly. Major artillery coming in as well. Sherman doing good work on the flank though for Artavick. Pershing still hasn't seen too much action, but the Allies have been regaining territory. Oops, sorry. And when this next plane comes in, should be getting shot down by the A half-track, so won't be a repeat situation from what we saw earlier. Allies should be able to hold their ground a lot more effectively thanks to rebuilding the A half-track. Shows you how important anti-air abilities are in these team games. The opponents have got those strong plane loiter abilities. Blasting barrage coming in here. Some bunkers. was in the plains, but this time quite shallow in their positioning. I'm not sure what the aim was on this. Oh, but the Persians coming in from the other side. 2 packs decrewed over here. Panther takes engine damage as well, but Persian getting a little bit blocked. He's going to get away with no engine damage, but can the Panther clear him out frontally? So the Panther's going to disengage, not go for the kill. Other Panther coming in from the side, the Command Panther, fresh Command Panther. Pershing in trouble. Oh, when the Command Panther secures the kill. Jackson and Sherman charging in here. Sherman's on high explosive though, not too useful. Jackson now in jeopardy of going down itself. Oh, this is dire for the Allies. They're in big trouble. Here come the Raketans as well. The M1 from the side, but that's about to get decrewed. Losses everywhere for both teams. Guys managed to squeak out of there with their Sherman. Oh, and they get a wipe with a grenade. Nice grenade tech from Artavick. Half-track still relevant in the late game. Still alive, forcing retreats now after all the armor is damaged.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Might be going for his pack outs next. No. Stuka's actually quite low on health. Pretty good avoidance of that barrage. So the Allies trying to charge in here, maybe steal one of these AT guns away. On the back of that push from earlier, but they are quite deep in Axis territory. Doesn't look like it's going to be successful. Axis have also gone for a munitions cache now. Good idea if you want to be able to spam these close air support planes. And we're now back up to full. That was very close to death earlier. So we've got some pre-shells coming in this region. Just up to 6 kills. Nothing too impressive. Ooh. Time on target coming in over here. Doesn't even destroy the cache though. And that priest has not been very impressive. He is doing it from a very long range. Oh, Rumbeer secures the kill there. So much damage with that first strike. Oh, Command Panther takes engine damage. Jackson in a nice position. We do have a Raketan nearby. Gonna try to chase away the Jackson, try to zone it out. Jackson doing some juicy hits though, long range on this Command Panther. He's tempted to come back in. He's gonna try to steal the Raketan, perhaps turn it against the Panther. No. Second Panther's there in support now. Thought he might have tried to go for the kill there, you know. Jackson on half health. He had squads in support. Stolen AT gun. Could have been successful formula. He's got the arm-piercing rounds going though. Panther with his rear armor showing. I think he's going to get engine damage on it here. What's he doing? Not the best Panther micro. Now got some pre-shells coming in this region. Jackson just pumping away with these arm-piercing rounds. Oh, a bit of friendly fire from the priest there, looks like. Riflemen take a heavy amount of damage. Jackson wants to go in for the kill here. This is so risky. Pack right there. Pack right there. Fresh Jackson. This one can't shoot through these shot blockers, but the pack is just out of the arc or something. Jackson, can it secure the kill? It does. Goes down in the process. Second one was enough of a distraction to allow that Jackson to get the kill, but I mean, he's trading up in terms of value. Panther is more expensive than the Jackson, but that was a Vet 2 Jackson. Very powerful. So overall, I'd say pretty even trade there. Oh man, I didn't even notice that. That's a second Brumbeer for Scotch. Not going to bother with rocket artillery. Double Bomber. Oof.
The enemy has destroyed an
Good hit. That's on armor piercing as well, I'm pretty sure. Pretty rare sight there. Oh, Panther's charging forwards, but Bazooka's right there. One penetrates.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Penetrates again. Oh, we've got some pack outs of fire coming in as well. Noggano really wants to knock out that Sherman, but he's taking engine damage again. He's been a bit sloppy with his tank control here. You shouldn't allow your vehicles to get engine damage like that. Especially in a 2v2 game, you never know when, like, the player from the other side's vehicle could just swoop onto the side and knock you out quickly. Taking engine damage is a massive risk in a 2v2. Or any team game, really. Rangers now from Captain Speirs. Looks like he's hoping to control the left-hand flank with them. They should be pretty good at that as long as the Brumbeer is not over there. And when I see these on the minimap, these Brumbeers, sometimes I think they look like elephants just from how large they are on the minimap. Priest coming in for another barrage.
Kraut's down to 100 points.
Just going for the HQ, looks like. Barrage. Priest hasn't been too impressive though this game, I have to say. It's kind of just long-range barrages. The thing about the Priest though is it's very safe, you know, it's barrage from a hell of a long range. And unlike other howitzers, you know, it can move so it's not vulnerable to off-map artillery strikes. This is a very bold move here. Scotch just charging down the middle with his Brumbeer. Jackson rotating around from the other side. The armor-piercing rounds going as well. Some big hits in there. Axis are kind of pushing a little bit here, but I wouldn't expect them to push too hard until they have another It's too close air support loitered. Really. Unless like a crazy good opportunity presents itself. I think they'll just play conservatively until that point. Oh, not backing away as Panther here, allowing the Jackson to get some free hits in. Noggano not paying attention. I think the Jackson needs 2 more hits, but maybe not if the AT grenades come through. Ooh, but the Brumbeer doing the work. Whoops, one squad. Oh, the Stuka tries to get the other. Gotta be careful with your Jackson here. Brumbeer could still knock it out. Oh, doesn't even need to. Packs from the other side. A little bit over aggressive, but once again trading 1 Jackson for 1 Panther, so not too bad in terms of resources for the Allies. Just losing the veterancy. It's a real shame. Axis though very low on VPs. Now struggling with the VP control. This one's been very well contained by Artavick.
They have only 75 points remaining.
And they've also had pretty good control of the central VP despite not having that much. Well, it looks like they're going for another push here. Flying in the planes. Going after this Jackson, but that's too fast. And he hits at one of the light AT mines, allowing it to escape. So he wants to try bring the Jackson back in. Slightly risky. He's going to go for it. Jackson misses that shot though. No munitions for an AT grenade on retreat there as well. Command tank. Whoa, why did he get a command tank? What? Why would you do that? Oh, it's in big trouble as well. It's down almost instantly, had no impact on the game. Planes coming back in. They're targeting the Sherman. Be careful with your vehicles that have a pintle machine gun, because they'll shoot at the planes and then reveal themselves in the fog, which means they can't get targeted even if your opponent doesn't have like anything else providing sight. And still loitering about as well. Ooh! Basically a 2-hit there from that Sherman. Nicely done. Fresh Pershing now for Captain Speirs. Going to provide a bit more meat to his front line. When did he get a vehicle crew out of vehicle? No idea. Maybe it was... I just have no idea. But helpful because it can help repair his Pershing, which doesn't have a vehicle crew. There's there trying to prevent the capture. Axis getting very low on VPs. Oof. Trading blows long range. Very close match. Captain Speirs' army's looking a little bit thin, especially in the infantry divisions. Scotch has done a very good job preserving his army. He's got a pretty much supply-locked army. Noggano, though, especially his Panther control this game has been quite disappointing. He's going to have another go. Straight away runs into a Jackson and a Raketen. Not having too much luck. He's going after that pack out, so clearly the Axis have had enough of it. 25 kills. Oh, nice crush. Got 2 models in the pack outs. They're going to live to fight another day. When you see an opponent or somebody like make a dive like that after a unit, you can tell it must be having like a toll on them, even if as us viewing the game haven't noticed the pack outs are being like super crazy strong. Clearly Noggano has felt its force, he's had enough of it, that's why he's going so aggressively after it. Ooh, double Raketens, sneaky, sneaky. Range is right there though. Here's one with the grenade. Get this back. Ready to rumble again. Showing off high explosive, not contributing much. But I still have quite a few VPs to work with, but they have been getting pushed back over the last couple minutes. Is providing some pretty good control. It's kind of camping one on the central VP, one on the left-hand VP. Made it very tricky for the Allies, especially combined with double AT guns for both the Axis. Makes it very hard to position your tanks, especially when they're dealing with tanks that can die. 4 hits, 2 AT guns can take them out so quickly. It makes it very tough to play US forces in the late game. When you fight against this many packs. Double packs and a Raketen, luckily Pershing bounces. Decent barrage, but not crazy. You've got some white phosphorus coming in though. Planes trying to target the Jackson. Crush with the Sherman, gets 2 models, nice control from Artavick. Panther's back. Repairs now completed, so they've got a real repair station going on here. 3 pioneers in the repair upgrade. Axis locking out this left-hand VP, really needs the Pershing over there to deal with that. Hex had to pull back thanks to that white phosphorus, so there is an opportunity for the Pershing on this left hand side to get some damage done. And that's why he's just hiding, waiting for the Pershing to arrive before he makes an assault. But having trouble in the middle. It's that Vet 3 Bombardier now. I suppose I think these stones look like the US Forces mines. Oh, double Bombardier in the middle. That is lethal. And we've got 2 AT guns there trying to prey on these US Forces medium tanks. And with no rocket artillery, they are ripe for the picking. The Blitz is out of there. Jackson, oh, be careful with your Vet 3 Jackson. 2 Raketens right there. Oh, that is dead. That is dead. Got an assault coming in from the left now from Captain Speirs. The double Raketens are still there, still threatening. Some priest fire coming in. Got some time on target coming in, but neither of them do too much damage. Gonna get in quite bad scatter luck with the priest, honestly. Bunker busting barrage long range here. Stick barrage coming in. No recon flares, so blind barrage. Pretty good results. How's that doing so far? 21 kills. Did have a pretty slow start with it. Yeah, these double AT guns though, as I said, causing real headaches for these US Forces players. Direct fire options to deal with them are quite limited. But there we go, the priest actually comes through with a monster hit, clearing out one of the packs. Clearing out both the packs! In quick succession, priest finally clutches it out. It's taken about half an hour, but finally comes good. Oh, we got a wipe on this side from the Sherman. I think it's intercepted as well by the Jackson. Oof, Bombardiers in the middle though, they're still so damaging. This is the second one. 18 kills already. It's like one of those packs actually got destroyed. Both packs get destroyed by the priest as well. So the priest knocks out 2 packs and destroys the decrewed weapons. Man, that's impactful. Raketens ambush the Sherman, tries to go in for a flank on them, but doesn't quite work out. So Noggano spamming 3 Pumas. I don't see that every day. Oh my god. It's one thing Scotch is really good at, just like pulling back a little bit to a safe distance and using the bunker busting barrage. Oh, and the pack howitzer finally gets decrewed, losing its Vet 3 bonuses. Now Artavick's looking very low on infantry. Got himself another tank. Noggano obviously feeling the pressure though. Instead of trying to tech and get some other units out, going for mass Pumas. Doesn't feel like he's got the time to tech up and get a unit out, even though, you know, 3 Pumas could do that with the resources. In comes planes once more. Could kill this Jackson. And does. Not sure what. Maybe the A half-track's been destroyed? Nothing shooting down the planes at the moment. Didn't notice that. Maybe that's what the veteran crew came from. This one here. Yeah, I imagine this is from the A half-track that got destroyed somehow when it was decrewed. Uh-oh. Okay, doesn't have munitions for target weak point there. I was very worried about the Pershing. But that axe is swarming now. back of that Jackson kill, they're starting to gain a lot of territory. That Sherman kill over here as well, things starting to fall apart for the Allies.
The enemy is overrunning one of our captured
Still only have to drain a few VPs. They got this one over here under control, but can't capture in the middle. Those double Brumbiers, such a headache. Things looking kind of desperate now for the Allies. Can they drain off those last 20 VPs? Axis army is much, much larger. Still another priest barrage targeting the A sector. I mean, not the base sector, the VP sector. 23 kills on that priest, man. It rocketed up. It had like 9. And now all of a sudden it's got 23. A bouncing shot there. Some bazookas on those rear echelons. Jackson nearby. Rifleman trying to clear out the AT gun. Raketans now focusing on the Pumas. Jackson trying to stay at range, try to make use of his 60 range. Pumas look like they're going to go in for a heroic push. Go down. Pumas, uh-oh, Puma's in trouble. Second Puma, you got too greedy. Third Puma now going in. Smells blood, but my word. Oh man, the Jackson chasing in here. Don't know if he's got sights. Goes for an attack ground, doesn't come good, but nice attempt. Oh my god. Nice dodge with that rocket artillery there. Allies trying to harass on both sides. Oh, he's just outside the capture circle there. Whoopsie daisy. Scotch making use of tactical movement, trying to get back onto the battlefield as quickly as possible. Squad goes down here to the Brumbier. These guys have to get out of there as well. VP's neutralized, but the Allies trying to capture in the middle under the smoke. Next to the Scott. Machine gun moves in though, blocks the cap at the last second, or the neutralize at least. Oh, the Brumbiers just so lethal. Just trying to capture over here. 2 machine guns. Gonna shut that down really quickly. Fresh Puma army for Noggano, even after losing those ones earlier. Allies now getting very low on VPs themselves, ticking under 100. Still anyone's game. Officers in the late game with this passive sprint are super helpful for capturing territory. I hope he doesn't lose this. Pershing, oh my god, takes a whole crazy amount of damage from AT guns. Puma's charging forwards, one of them goes down. Rear echelon on the scene. Does get Sherman though for his troubles. Getting out of there, doesn't even use Blitz either. Oof. Maybe he should have. He's staying in there, not backing away, and now he's in a awkward position, having to spin around to try to get out of there. Could this be the end of the Panther? Pops Blitz now. Sherman chasing as well as the Jackson. They secure the kill. Now they switch targets to the Puma. Puma pops smoke. He wants to get the kill on that Vet too, but attack ground from the Sherman secures it. Some planes in the middle. Decruise these. Just on the edge of the circle. Oh my god, this Brumbiers is destroying everything in the middle. 49 kills now on the older of the two. He's from base now, doing some barrages. 33 kills. Man, this thing all of a sudden has become a real beast. Only took like 40 minutes. Oh, excuse the sneezes. But all of a sudden it is doing really well, and the Allies are actually looking to secure the central VP here. Noggano desperately trying to cap over here. Not having much luck. A bit late to react with this Raketen. Smokes it off as well. Jackson to pull back. Sherman staying in there. VPs, I feel like they've been stalled on this score for so long now. Just going back and forth, back and forth. Noggano is just so low. He just threw away so many command panthers this game. Just like really disrespecting his opponent's ability to follow up. Especially this one was super lazy. The last one just only backed it away to here, not anticipating any further chase. And then as I had to path around this obstacle, just losing it for free. I suppose it wasn't completely for free. I tried some tricks to keep it alive, but didn't pay off. Up on the flares. Maybe he wants to target a vehicle crew. So he's going to settle for the machine gun over there, try and open up the capture on the VP. These dividends. Sherman's being left on armor piercing here. Uh-oh. Double packs. Oh my god. Sound like they shot 3 shots there somehow. Sherman didn't last long, but packs also very low. One of them goes down. Be careful with those priests firing. I want to do friendly fire. Jackson finally arrives, forcing away the Bombardier. Allies in control of 2 VPs, axis at 17. Re-echelons don't make it out of there, drop a bazooka in the process. Pershing in there, just dishing it out. Oh my god, he's just killing everything right now. He's got a vehicle crew in here to block the capture as well. This raid has been successful. Looks like we've got radio silence activated from Noggano. I was like, how come I can't see Noggano's units on the map? It's because he's popped the radio silence. Don't see that too often. He didn't get in the capture circle with that machine gun. Could that be his undoing? Squad charging in to try and block the capture. Calls in time on target on the machine gun as well. Could Noggano not moving this into the capture circle cost them the match here potentially? Three, two. Oh, we're stalled again. But there are 2 riflemen branching out to that VP. This one gets destroyed by the Pershing. Sherman there as well. Sherman needs to use some smoke. And Noggano and Scotch surrender. These 2 squads over here, they're going to drain out very quickly. Unless they made some kind of crazy push, but it wasn't really happening. But either way, good game. Really back and forth. I think Noggano definitely letting his team down. Just a bit too reckless with his command panthers, not respecting his opponents. The priest, you know, took a long time to become good. It was very non-impressive for the first 30 minutes it was on the field, but really started to shine in the later stages. Pretty good vehicle control. Like, microing these kind of armies as US forces against double packs is terrifying. We saw it several times where double AT guns would knock out their tanks. Just, you know, slight misposition. So overall, very impressive play from these double US forces players. And very deserved win. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye. Good luck.